darlings, welcome to a new vlog. If I sound very calm and relaxed, that is because I have still got a little bit of a tickle in my throat today, so I'm trying to keep my voice soft so as not to aggravate it. I say good day as opposed to good morning. Actually, did I? I can't even remember what I just said. It is 12:30 and I'm making myself an early lunch. I have been dosing up on hot water, lemon, ginger and honey tea today, and I saw this recipe on TikTok a couple of days ago, and the ingredients within this lunch that I'm about to make not only sound delicious but also happen to be what I have in the fridge, and also full of goodness for a potential tickly throat. So I will share the process with you. As always, when I share these recipes, this is my first time creating this, so it could go horribly wrong, but it'll be fun to discover the results anyway. So it is from a website called Justine's Snacks, and it's her crispy cabbage and turmeric mash. Sounds a little bit gross, but honestly on the TikTok, it was actually a TikTok about de-influencing. It just sounded rather scrummy, looked rather scrummy. So I have already chopped up a cabbage, which is the leftover cabbage from my okonomiyaki pancakes. And by the way, I had my leftover frozen one for my breakfast this morning. It was delicious. So shredded cabbage covered in olive oil and salt is in the aga. I've just added some boiling water to some almonds. That's going to soften these, and I'm going to add that to a few other ingredients to make, hopefully, a very tasty and good for me turmeric mash. So also in the mash it's going to be some beans. Are these white beans, darling? Butter beans, or should I use chickpeas?
Sorry, is this to eat now?
Yeah. Are they white beans?
Yeah, they're white beans.
Right, okay. Cumin powder, chili flakes. We've got some nutritional yeast, the almonds which are soaking, a knob of ginger, another knob of turmeric, and 2 cloves of garlic. Those last 3 ingredients are very good for you if you think you've got a cold coming along, so hopefully this is going to be perfect for me. And then I'm going to add in a splash of apple cider vinegar. So all blended up, that should make a turmeric mash. And then the best part of this recipe is a crispy rice. So I just made some rice, and now I'm going to cook it in my always pan with a little bit of oil on the bottom to make it go satisfyingly crispy. Sounds delicious. My mouth is watering. So I'm going to add all of the ingredients for the mash into the Thermomix and waz it all together. Okay, I've got a very strong feeling that this might just end up to be one of the worst recipes I've ever created, so we shall see, but I definitely added too much water to my turmeric mash, and it's now officially a turmeric puree. I've only added a couple of spoonfuls to my bowl. However, something which I think will be ultra tasty is my crispy rice, so I've just added some olive oil to the bottom of the pan and added my rice, and hopefully it'll be nice and golden and crispy underneath. And then in the recipe she actually uses a red cabbage, however the one that I had was a, oh, and I've burnt it as well. Can tell I am not on top form today. Let's see if I can salvage some of the less burnt bits. Hopefully it'll be nice and tasty having been in the oven for a while. I think if I'd have got the purple coloured cabbage it might have been a little bit more exciting looking. I'm a little bit more optimistic about the crispy rice. Thank goodness this is not burnt. Essentially, I have just made a crispy rice bowl with a little bit of fried garlic, not garlic, with a little bit of fried cabbage in there for good measure. I think that sesame seeds are just amazing with everything, so I'm going to add some sesame seeds and some of this Japanese green nori. It's essentially seaweed. And some microgreens just for some added nutrients. Okay, that definitely looks a little bit better. Well, if anything, it certainly looks like a bowl of comfort food, and I do absolutely love crispy rice. So I'm going to tuck in and I shall report back. Well, it is safe to say that is definitely not one of the best things that I have ever made. Possibly one of the worst actually, but I feel full and satisfied, so never mind. In my bid to cure myself, I'm going to have another shot of my ginger, lemon, turmeric and pepper hot shot. Gin gin. Ooh. Hello again, my darlings. It's a few hours later. I am dosed up on mostly ultra chloroseptic spray actually, which is like a numbing throat spray. Definitely seems to be what's helping me most at the moment. I'm very glad I did some heatless waves last night, because otherwise I would just feel like an absolute zombie. But we've had some really but we've had some really interesting calls this afternoon, mostly around short form video content and particularly different places to upload video content that we're already producing. And something that I'd love to ask you guys is, other than here on YouTube and TikTok and Instagram, are there any other places that you consume video content? Sorry, Dexy's howling because Charlie's physio has just arrived to the house. So I'm thinking places like LinkedIn. Do you guys consume content on there, or is it a little bit too, what would the word be? I want to say like worky. I don't know. But yeah, we're just trying to think outside the box for places for putting out short form video content. So if you guys have got any unusual suggestions, then let me know. And also, do you use LinkedIn? Do you follow people on there? Charlie and I checked out LinkedIn for the first time in literally like 8 years. We had a good laugh at each other's very outdated profiles, and it has changed so much. It's very much kind of like a content website now, so definitely need to do a little bit more research into that. You're such a wiggler. Now Charlie has got out some food here. It all looks very healthy to make a Thai green sweet potato quinoa. Oh, sorry, I thought you were still over there. Quinoa bowl for dinner. And I'm just trying to calculate on a scale of 1 to 10 how annoyed he would be if I made a macaroni cheese while he was having his physio appointment, because I'm really craving macaroni cheese. But one thing that is not up for debate is our movie night. There are some epic new films out on Sky Cinema, and last night Charlie and I both agreed that we really want to watch a film called The Independent. It is about the race to become president in the US, and I believe what's going to happen is there's going to be some uncovering of a big conspiracy for one of the politicians that's in the race. And we've been watching a lot of kind of American, not really political, but like MI5 thriller programs at the moment. We've also been listening to season 2 of the I'm Not a Monster podcast, so I feel like it's very much along the lines of what we are really interested in at the moment. I also saw that they have got a huge host of Tom Cruise films on Sky Cinema at the moment. Over Christmas, all the family got together and watched the new Top Gun Maverick, which I believe is coming very soon on Sky Cinema. If we know the date, I'll pop it on the screen here. And to celebrate this, Sky Cinema have got loads of Tom Cruise films up and running, and I still have not seen the original Top Gun. So how old was Tom Cruise in that film? Was he like 18? I can't believe that he's done those two films so far apart, so I definitely want to watch some of his older films. Is it called Vanilla Sky? Vanilla something or other? I don't really know that much about Tom Cruise. I definitely need to do some more Tom Cruise watching. It's also got Forrest Gump. There is another film out, is it called House of Rock? School of Rock? Vanilla Rock? About an aspiring musician. I'm really bad at remembering names, but that sounds awesome as well. So that is what is on our to watch list for this evening. All I can think about right now is the mac and cheese. Can I get away with it? Is it worth the annoyance that it will cause Charlie? I feel like it probably is.
Dexter, do not chew my loo roll tube. Mummy's using that for planting broad beans. Let go. I saved that on purpose, you terror. Let go. Let go. Let go. What a silly little sausage.
So these are some of the things that we've been watching lately. Gardener's World. Charlie's been watching A League of Their Own. Charlie's Guilty Pleasure, Made in Chelsea, the Bali edition. Putin versus the West. Okay, we definitely haven't been watching Waterloo Road. Don't know where that's come from. Right, Sky Cinema. I love how they have all of these playlists and you can really just get your teeth, sink your teeth into a really good selection of films. So you've got all the Harry Potter ones from the Wizarding. Oh, what's this one? Is that the documentary? What's this? Super fans of Harry Potter are, answer trivia questions. Okay, we don't want to watch that at the moment. Here we go! Top Gun Maverick. I cannot wait to watch that again. Of course, all the BAFTA and Oscar films. I feel like it's so quick that they got Maverick on here. Jurassic World. That's an epic film. And it's Rock Dog that I was thinking of earlier, by the way. Okay, let's find The Independent. Good morning, my darlings. It is not the next day, and it is not the day after that, or the day after that. It is 6 days later, and Charlie and I have been struck down by what can only be described as the most awful flu in the entire world. 6 days. I think the last time I picked up the camera was last Tuesday. It's now Monday of the following week, and I've literally been in bed since the last time I spoke to you. I have not been this ill in my entire life. I'm one of these very annoying people that always says, oh, I don't really get ill. I don't normally get ill. I don't normally get little bugs. Definitely don't normally get, haven't had COVID since its inception, but boy oh boy, this flu really got me. So today's the first day actually getting up and out of bed. I showered for the first time yesterday. Not feeling 100%, but determined to try and actually get my life back on track today. So here we are.
got a lot of work to catch up on. I'm now officially a week behind on all of my deadlines, but I'm trying not to get too stressed about all of that. Obviously feeling rubbish is not the one, but when you are the type of person like me that just always needs to be productive, always wants to be doing something, whether that's a sunny day I want to be out in the garden, or filming, seeing friends, we have had to cancel so many plans. I've literally just been in bed, unable to do anything for the last 6 days, which has not been great. Not been great. So anyway, onwards and upwards. The rest of this vlog is going to be the getting myself back on track vlog. So I think just gonna take it easy today. Probably not gonna get out of my pajamas, but I want to do my nails. Just try and make myself feel a little bit better. That's actually the first time I've put moisturizer on in 6 days, and that feels really, really good. Gonna try to have some soup for lunch. I need to get some more vitamins and nutrients into my body. It's so typical. I felt like I was so healthy before the flu struck. I felt like I was the healthiest I'd ever been. I was eating really well, eating lots of plants, eating lots of things that were good for me, cutting out ultra-processed food, and then in the last 6 days I have only eaten pasta and frozen croissants. That's all I've been able to eat, pasta and frozen croissant. So yeah, not feeling or looking particularly healthy at the moment. Absolutely perfect, however, that this vlog was sponsored by Sky, because I got through a lot of films. I think when I last spoke to you was Tuesday, and I was about to watch The Independent that evening, which I did, and that was probably the last evening that I felt okay. You could tell that I was starting to come down with something, but I was feeling okay. And that was a fantastic film. I know the main part of the film is obviously following the journey of a politician as he gains power, and it's looking at whether there is some corruption going on and whether there is some kind of conspiracy theory going on. That's the main plot, but actually the plot that I found more interesting, or the thing that I took away from it, was actually the power of journalists. And I've been thinking about this a lot lately. I feel like there are two different camps of journalists, and typically influencers and journalists do get like pit against each other sometimes, and I can see why. Without going into the obvious detail, I can see why. But this film, it's starring Jodie Turner-Smith as a journalist, and she's the one that's really doing a lot of digging into the main character, who's played by John Cena. She's the one that does all the digging and basically gets the truth out of the conspiracy theory but behind whether he is doing something unlawful to get to where he wants to be within the US presidential elections. And if it wasn't for her, and if it wasn't for this investigative journalism that she was doing, then without giving it too much away, he could just have completely gotten away with it. And it just gives me a newfound respect for that kind of journalism. And I've also been listening to I'm Not a Monster season 2, which is about Shamima Begum, and the guy that presents that, he's also an investigative journalist. And yeah, for me that was the more interesting storyline, the fact that she goes way above her pay grade and way above what she should be doing for her job just to seek out the truth. And it made it really, really fascinating, and huge respect to her and to people who do have that job and that put themselves in danger to seek the truth. But yeah, it was a fantastic film. I think it is the kind of film where you do have to pay attention. You can't be like checking at TikTok at the same time. You need to give it your full attention because there's lots of little details that you need to remember and keep track of throughout the film. But the acting in it was fantastic, great storyline. And I also watched the original Top Gun as well on Sky Cinema, which is just so cheesy. I couldn't believe how cheesy it was. I thought that the new one was cheesy, but oh my god, the amount of one-liners. I just would cringe if I was acting in that film. It was absolutely hilarious. Rewatched Forrest Gump as well. Watched quite a few documentaries. I watched a documentary with Charlie on Manchester United, which was actually quite interesting. We watched the documentary A Bit Morbid about Fred and Rose West. It was actually about, it's called Fred West, the Glasgow Girls, raising awareness more about, this is really morbid, but the girls that he murdered that were from Glasgow as opposed to the Gloucester girls. And that whole story is a little bit literally close to home because Much Markle, which is the village where a lot of the bodies were found in the field, is literally the next village to where I grew up. And I don't know if this is a real memory or if it's a memory based on things that people have told me, but I'm sure I remember seeing the tents from our house. I remember seeing the tents of them digging up the fields where these bodies were found, which is really morbid, and that would have been in 1994, so I would have been 3 years old. And yeah, it was just all very, very close to home, so I found that documentary really fascinating. And then a lot of Sky comedy as well. We're in the middle of watching Modern Family right now, and yeah, it's just been getting me through. So very, very grateful for my Sky subscription this month. And I'm sorry I sound like such an old crock. Does anyone want to watch a vlog where I am literally so ill? But this is it. This is the turning point. I feel like I'm gonna... Look, the sun's even coming out. How perfect. I've also been relying quite heavily on CBD drops. Something about when you're ill, I don't sleep very well. Obviously been taking a lot of Lemsip, a lot of ginger and lemon and honey and any other remedy that I could think of. My mum made some lovely homemade soups, but I just couldn't stomach anything other than plain pasta and butter croissant. That's what I've been craving. But this has been helping me to get to sleep. It is CB2, 5% food supplement CBD oil, and this is how I've been sleeping, which has been amazing. And I think I also let you know about the Neal's Yard Remedies throat pastils. Today is the first day that I've actually been able to talk, and my throat has been not as though someone is going like this inside it. Oh, I'm sorry, it's so boring listening to someone complain about being ill, isn't it? It's the worst thing in the whole world, but I'm just... yeah, don't really have anything else to tell you because that's been my entire last week, has been being ill. I've had to cancel so many amazing meetings, had to cancel a really important wedding meeting, had to cancel a photo shoot, and Kat has literally been in Australia for 5 months and I had to cancel a shoot with her. Boo-hoo, boo-hoo. Right, what do I need to do? Should I get dressed? I don't know if I can be bothered to get dressed. Maybe I won't get dressed until tomorrow because that really is just a lot of work to do. I think a lot of my seedlings might have died. Do you know what? The sun's come out. Let's go and get some fresh air. Let's go and see if anything has survived in my greenhouse.
I don't think I could have made it through these last few days without my doctors. Dr. Dicky and Dr. Dexy, you two have been my little saviours. Mummy missed you when I was in bed. I really missed you. We really missed you too, Mummy. We really missed you too. On the plus side, my little
window ledge seedlings seem to be doing very well, especially my tomatoes. They are almost ready to be potted on. I would have loved to have done this yesterday. It was such a nice sunny Sunday, but alas, I was bedbound. The little digitalis is starting to come through. Spring onions. No sign of life from the aubergines yet. This tray is looking a little bit dried out. I think we might have lost a few there. These plastic covers have really helped the ones that have been protected though. And lots of little salads here. Pak choy and bok choy starting to come through. Do you believe that little time lapse was actually my entire afternoon's work? That literally took me like 3 hours because I have zero energy. But let's just come down. Oh my gosh, my sweet peas. This is exciting. I'm actually amazed that things are still alive in here. It has been very cold. I think I need to pinch some of these out. I'm so happy. Okay, that is very, very dry soil. I need to do some major watering. A little bit concerning that none of my broad beans are doing anything at all. Even these ones planted on the 4th of February, this is not good. Maybe this is not the year for broad beans. Right, let's get watering. It's only 4:30, but I have decided that I could just about stomach a mac and cheese, so that's what I'm going to make myself for dinner. We have got some Gouda cheese, which I think could be rather sensational in a mac and cheese. Probably take me about an hour to make it because I'm moving at a snail's pace today, but I think it'll be worth it.